Hello everyone and welcome back to the Kenny Wallace Show, brought to you by JEGS, the leader in high performance aftermarket car parts. Remember to go to jegs.com for everything you need to fix your vehicle up. And remember, they have truck parts and Jeep parts in stock right now. Let the games begin. NASCAR finally responds to Michael Jordan. As reported by Bob Pockrass, remember, I respond to what I see and then I give my opinion. Everybody's been saying, even Michael Jordan at Talladega said, no response from NASCAR yet. Since Michael Jordan, 2311, Denny Hamlin, and Front Row Motorsports, since they filed the antitrust lawsuit, they filed it and NASCAR has not responded until just now. So what did NASCAR say? Boy, I'll tell you what. Remember I said let the games begin? Man, I think this is going to be a tough boxing match. I really do. I didn't think NASCAR would go down easily, and I don't think they're going to go down. We got to remember, if you study the history of NASCAR, they're pretty damn smart. We've read stories that NASCAR has got close ties to Washington, the government, things of that nature. And I also believe, when I tell you a little bit about the letters that Bob Pockrass put out, 2311 wrote a letter to NASCAR. Steve Phelps, it says Steve Phelps, and you read the letter. Yes, Charlie Marlow's going to do another report. He's probably going to show you a little bit of that. And then NASCAR really doesn't respond to 2311, but NASCAR had to respond in a timely manner on the antitrust lawsuit. See, when you file a lawsuit, you have to respond. Because think about it. If somebody sues you and you go, well, I ain't responding. No. By law, you have to respond. So NASCAR had a deadline they had to meet. Because of Hurricane Milton, NASCAR said, listen, we need a little bit of a delay here. The hurricane has come through Daytona Beach, Florida, right at our offices. Today, the courts said, okay, we will give you a little more time because act of God. That's also in a lot of contracts. Something out of our control. All right. Told you what's going on. Let's give you my opinion and let me give you the details. All right. So Steve Phelps receives the letter from Michael Jordan, and it's signed. It's signed Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin. You're thinking somebody in the office is going to do this, maybe an attorney. No. So 2311, Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin, they write a letter to Steve Phelps, who's the president of NASCAR. And basically, I'm gonna de-bullshit it for you. In short, what the letter says is, you talk to all the other teams, but you never talk to us. And it goes on, Jim France and other players in NASCAR, they sat down with other teams, but they quit sitting down. They quit sitting down with Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. So that's the letter. And basically the letter says, hi, Steve Phelps. You got our backs against the wall. We're not signing this new charter agreement. We don't like it. All right. In short, that's what the letter from Michael Jordan said to Steve Phelps. Okay. Crickets. Nothing happened. Everybody goes to Talladega. Michael Jordan says, haven't heard from NASCAR. They haven't responded. But NASCAR took it all the way to the limit, and then Hurricane Milton, as I said, delayed it. So here's what NASCAR said. Now, this is really interesting. This is the big deal. NASCAR says, okay, 2311, front row, you're asking for an injunction. You're saying you want us to keep you on the charter deal because this is going to court. Now, everybody in the industry is saying this can last 2-3 years. Oh yeah, you can drag it out as long as you want. This is a killer. Now, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. This is not good for Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. And here's why. I'm telling you why. Okay? So 2311 says, we want the courts to say we can race with you as a charter. And if you're a charter member and you go to Daytona in 2025, you get all this extra money. Millions upon millions of dollars, right? Here's NASCAR's response. Instead of you reading it, I'm going to tell it to you. NASCAR says, nope, we are not going to let you be part of the charter. And I just said it redneck style. Basically, they said, we're not going to allow the injunction, and here's why. And this is another reason why when you go to court, your attorneys say, shut your mouth. NASCAR said we're not giving them an injunction because 2311 has come out and said, we will race next year as a non-charter member. I'm going to say it one more time because somebody will go, Herman said it, but I don't understand it. I'm going to say it one more time. NASCAR said that over the last 2 weeks, 2311 said in open, if they don't approve our charter, we'll just go ahead and race as a non-charter member next year. Remember, they got the 2 spots open, you can qualify. So, I mean, I don't know. Now listen, the courts are going to decide on this injunction, but the story here is NASCAR said, nope, we're not going to give you an injunction. That's the big story in the garage area. NASCAR's first response is no, capital N-O, and here's why. Because you're suing us, and here's what's interesting. NASCAR says if 2311 prevails, then we can settle up then. Okay? Now listen, don't get on to me about legal terms. I'm a redneck. I'm telling you I'm a redneck, and I'm telling you this is all my opinion, what's going to happen. But I've told you what happened, and I'm right. Okay? I didn't see any fancy words like thereof and therefore and all that stuff, but that is it. So I think this is going to be a battle royale. NASCAR's strong. They're big. But Michael Jordan in all those championship games, 3, 2, makes the shot. Swish. So, listen, it's like I said, it's going to be a battle royale. And like I said, NASCAR said no. Let the games begin. So it's going to be interesting. NASCAR got the delay from the courts because of Hurricane Milton. And everybody goes, what's next? Kenny, what's next? All right, here's what's next. The courts have to rule whether to allow 2311 and front row. And listen, front row's not anywhere in this paperwork. I know you're going to start responding going, front row two, front row two. Well, listen, Bob Pockras and everybody, I don't see 2311 anywhere. All they show, is the letter from 2311 to Steve Phelps. And then they show NASCAR's response. So even though you have 2311 and front rows involved, I don't see nothing from front row. And I thought it would be that way. All right, everybody, respond right here. Who's going to win this battle royale? 2 questions. Will the courts say, okay, NASCAR, you got to allow them to be a charter member when they go to Daytona in 2025? Will the courts rule in Michael Jordan's favor and front row's favor? Will the courts say, okay, NASCAR, you got to treat them as a charter member, even though they haven't signed it. Are you going to treat them as a charter member? NASCAR says no. And then, obviously, it goes to court, the whole antitrust lawsuit. Remember, this is the second tentacle. The real lawsuit is, hey, NASCAR. And here's another thing real quick, and I'll end like this. When you read it all, 2311's not asking for anything. It's really weird. They just say, we want better. It doesn't say, hey, NASCAR, give everybody $10 million more. It doesn't say, give us this, give us that. It just says, we want more. All right, respond right here. Straighten me out. Remember, I don't know what I'm talking about. You're smarter than me. All right, Charlie Marlow going to read it all out to you later on. But that's just an up-to-date. And boy, it's wild. Who's going to win? Respond right here.